That's always been my question is why haven't we used our water frontage the way that we should? And it's really cool to see that the city is making that push.
It's very expensive to go in and buy land and also work with those property owners because there's a lot of hesitancy. What am I opening myself up to if I allow there to be trail systems developed in this area? And, frankly, one of our longstanding local citizens who over the years had not wanted that trail system behind their house finally committed to it. And they've been a really big advocate now for the benefits they've seen because there's a fence now between their property and the river, which is, made it so where some of the bad components that may exist there, they're not dealing with that anymore.
Yeah.
But another project that's tied into this is one that's currently under construction, and that's at Farmington Museum. So there's two projects going on there. A lot of the monies for both of these projects came out of the Gold King mine spill fund. Yeah. So just so you know, that would be the market pavilion that's being built on the south side of the museum, which will be an indoor-outdoor facility. It could be used for the growers market. It can be rented by the Lions Group for a customer appreciation event. It could be utilized for any number of private things. There's an amphitheater that will sit behind it. And then to the north side of the property, we, of course, are building the new Riverwave feature. So everybody who's driving down East Main Street, you look at the giant, huge boulders that are sitting outside of that. That is a part of what will be an adjustable Riverwave that will be in the Animas River. It'll have a part of a wall that goes up and down based upon the flow of the river that will funnel in water to an area where you could ride a surfboard.
That's so wild. And when you say just adjustable, it's adjusted by nature, or you got like Paul over there pulling a lever?
Well, I think there's a lot of automation to it. Yeah. Paul,
I'm not that strong.
If Paul wants to move the lever down.
It depends on how much it pays.
Yeah. Right. I think Paul's got the strength to torque it. I think he'd be all right.
Yeah. You crank on that thing.
But it's going to have, it's really neat about this channel and seeing some of the pictures now that where we poured the concrete into the river is it's going to have a fish diversion area. It's got a boat diversion area. It's got the main thing coming in for you to be on your raft, your tube, your surfboard. And then the other part of this is the North Farmington ditch. That's where they have their diversion for the water that they use in their ditch. And because they partnered with us, we were able to get through the Army Corps of Engineers pretty quickly as far as the permitting goes, which is why this has all of a sudden come up so quickly.
Yeah.
Because it's going to improve their diversion.
Yeah, it seemed like it just popped out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you were really just rocking and rolling.
Like, as soon as the permits were made available, we went out to bid, and I think we had the company. They're out of Colorado. This is all they do is build these kind of water features. And they were Johnny on the spot, and it was approved, and they were working the next week.
Wow, that's pretty incredible for government agencies to move like that.
Yeah.
As someone who uses the river, I'm very excited about this feature because that used to be such a dangerous spot. There used to be a low-hanging bridge over it.
Right.
And then also just all the strainers on the side. I think this is really going to open up a lot of outdoor recreation for Farmington. I'm very excited.
Yeah, and it'll be a draw for clients that are moving to the area. We can, show them around and say, these are some of the wonderful amenities that we have.
Well, it's been a mission of mine since I was elected in 2014 to develop that property because it's a big piece of property. It's our closest point from Main Street to the river. Isn't this something we should really showcase and make it bright and shiny for everybody to be proud of? And it's happening, man.
Yeah,
it's very cool,
man. That is so good to see. When I love the fact that you took advantage of the money that was being offered the last 4 years or so.
Well, Julie Baird, who's retired from the city now, but she's working for us as a contractor. She's been a tremendous asset in helping us push this forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Julie, didn't I get my original Labrador from Julie? No, different Julie.
Different Julie.
Okay, different Julie. That's a whole nother subject. She was the last one, and Shannon goes, "You really need this dog," and she'd bring her over, and just like rolls of fur and chub.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how can I turn that? You're mine, baby.
Yeah.
But different Julie. So So
another cool thing about that property. So there's 3 phases to the museum redevelopment area. You have the market pavilion, which is phase 1 in the kind of south side of the property. Phase 2 is actually a redo of the parking lot, the main parking lot area. the ingress egress going into the museum to make it easier for people to utilize that area. And then the third part is going to be what sits on the north side overlooking the new river wave. And there we have letters of interest out for any companies who are interested in kind of opening up some niche, whether it's a boutique hotel, it's restaurant related, something that we could really magnify the river right there and have a great company who's, bringing people in for those kind of services.
Yeah, I love that because I feel like the river gets lost.
Yeah.
And then
you don't see it.
You don't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the green belt, but you don't see how awesome that amenity is.
Well, it's like Lake Farmington. And Lake Farmington's beautiful, but you don't see it from the road. And so many folks, even after we've opened it up, years after we've opened it up for recreation, still have never been there because you don't think about it. And that's been a really big development for our area too.
That's always a fun surprise when we do tours and stuff with people moving in, professionals moving into the area. I always like to take them out in that direction and then pop them up on the hill. And most of the facial expressions are like, whoa, I had no idea there was a lake right here. That's pretty cool. They've been here for a few days and you have this fantastic amenity right over our shoulder. So I'm glad that the city has taken a stance to develop that quite a bit more as well.
I completely agree. And I think it's, we have the aqua park now that we reinstituted out there last year at the beach. And then we've also done some fire mitigation into the, kind of the north side of the lake, which has opened up more areas for people, like kind of covey kind of places where people can go and set up and really enjoy a great day at the lake. I love those coves back there.